Tonight we're going to be doing something we haven't done in a while. We're going to do a little bit of movie review. We're going to be covering The World's End. No, it's not a movie about the world coming to an end, although it does kind of sound like that. It's about a man who is trying to relive his glory years when he was a post-adolescent. He went to multiple bars, tried to do this thing they called the Golden Mile or the Golden Trace. I forget exactly what it was.
Golden Mile.
Was it Golden Mile? Okay.
Yep.
And they're trying to hit all these pubs or bars, and some as us Americans would say, and try to drink a pint at each one of these bars. And they started with like 5 or 6 guys there, and most of them did.
An epic pub crawl.
Yeah, the epic pub crawl. Thank you. And they didn't quite make it all the way to the end because of things would happen. So 20 years later, he comes back and he is trying to recreate the thing. So he talks his buddies into getting back together to do all this. And in the process of this, they discover that the town has been taken over by what they called robots. But they're not robots. They're like artificial life forms of some sort, or aliens, I guess, in some cases, if you want to put them like that. They called them blanks at one point, but that's a little bit later. Just so you know, there may be spoilers in this, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, hit your mute button now. Joe, what were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is the third movie from director Edgar Wright, and he's worked with actors Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in the past.
Mm-hmm.
He worked with them on 2 other movies called Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, both of which were excellent. I think Shaun of the Dead is really good, a comedy zombie movie, and Hot Fuzz is just excellent. I've watched that movie a million times. It's so good. And when this movie, I heard this was coming out, I was super excited, and actually a theater near me actually played all 3 movies in a row. You can go see all 3 movies one after another as a trilogy, even though these movies aren't related to one another. They're not sequels. Each movie is a standalone movie, but they're all excellent. And this one, The World's End, is just so good. It holds up right with the other 2.
I didn't see the other 2, so I couldn't say to that.
Yeah, it's very clever scripting. The dialogue is very funny. There's an awesome scene in the bathroom where Simon Pegg says, "What the fuck does WTF mean?"
Oh, yeah.
His friend comes out of the bathroom stall and he's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Oh."
I have a slightly different opinion about this movie, but that's just me. But
you don't like good movies, so
no, I do like a good movie. I'll reserve my comments at the end. But
okay.
What did you think? I mean, overall, what would you say? What did you think about it? Basically,
I thought it had a humorous story. It had an ironic ending. It was great seeing Pegg and Frost back together again, and I loved it. I thought, 5 Hail Marys out of 5.
Okay. 5 Hail Marys. Okay. Crystal, what were your thoughts on this movie?
Well, I hate to disagree with Joe, but I'm just going to give it a hail. Just a hail. I do not get into sci-fi movies, and actually, even though that I knew that it was going to be incorporated at some point in this movie, I was kind of actually excited during the first part of the film until we got to the bathroom scene, and which is when the science fiction part comes in, right? And I thought the movie was very well scripted, and it's very well written. I love the undertones and the subtleties that you're trying to figure out exactly how these guys are connected and what's drawn them apart over the years. And I love that part of the story, but I just can't get into the science fiction part of it. And
yeah, all those guys.
It's not the worst one I've ever seen by any means. It just is not my genre of movies. So
yeah, I understand that. Jason, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was a great movie. And speaking to what Crystal said, one of the strengths about their films is that their movies are never just about the topic that they are kind of satirizing. When they did Shaun of the Dead, a lot of their movies seem to be about growing up and moving on and becoming a responsible adult, especially the first one. But this last one was more, there's a very melancholy sense about this film in regards to the main character, King, who has literally not grown past high school.
Yes, I got that impression too.
He's been stuck in a time warp since high school. And in the United States, that joke is made about the kids who are really popular in high school, like the football player or the cheerleader or something like that, where they feel their greatest 4 years were in high school. And it's interesting to see that carried over in pretty much the same kind of attitude in England, that they have kind of the same thing, these kind of hangers-on that will never grow up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything like that, but there is a very bittersweet feeling to this entire... these are friends who hadn't seen each other for a long time, didn't necessarily want to see each other for a long time. The King character, while funny, is kind of horrible in many ways.
That's true.
Yes.
But what's really great about these is that I watched this movie and I didn't feel like I was watching a repeat of the same characters and the same themes from the previous two films. Edgar Wright not Edgar Wright, the actor, I can't remember his name at this point. I don't know why. The guy who's playing King has played 3 distinctly different characters in all 3 of the films, and so has I can't remember the larger gentleman's name either. I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
Nick Frost.
Okay.
Nick Frost?
Thank you, Nick Frost.
Okay.
They've played very distinct characters. It would have been so easy to have them play the same thing over and over and over again. And I would just like to say I love this movie, and it is one of the few films that I've seen that was not made to make any money.
Really?
This was a movie... No, I mean, of
That's
course
true,
they would like to make money, but it was not made with the express purpose of being a blockbuster.
Oh,
when you watch this movie, you watch someone who is doing a movie that they wanted to do, that is entertaining for the audience, but was not made... A lot of the big blockbusters that coming out of the U.S. right now, you can feel the committee behind them.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, we need to have this, and we need to have this huge fight scene, and we can't have the character doing this, and make sure that we have the Coca-Cola placement product right there, and...
Well, there was Foster's beer endorsement on several places on there, too, so...
Was there?
Yep. I take notice of that kind of stuff, product placement.
Do you really?
Yep.
I didn't notice it, so...
Yeah, every time they would pour, several times right towards the beginning, they'd show the beer, they'd show the Foster logo, but it was upside down. But they showed it like several times in a row.
That's fine, though.
Yeah,
That's
of
fine.
course.
Yeah,
They got to play some product
overt.
placement in there, of course.
I mean,
it's not positioning an actor so that they're holding the can at exactly the right angle,
Oh, yeah.
so that everyone can see what they're drinking.
Right.
I agree that if you don't like sci-fi, you're probably not going to be that interested in the film. I think that Crystal has it right on the nose. It's a very engaging movie up until, and this is for some people, until the robots come into play.
Yeah. Well, I for myself, for the first 30 minutes, I was like, okay. I was watching an arrested adolescent. And that's the way, until you get to the end and find out why he was acting like he did. And what part of it was kind of like, until you get to the end, you don't understand what's going on. I'm not going to give it away. But he goes to every pub that they hit. He has to have a drink. I mean, he literally, there's robots or androids or blanks chasing after him. And he's the only thing that's on his mind is getting that next pint of beer. I thought that was
the goal, though. That was the goal.
That is the goal.
I understood that was the goal, but I mean,
I thought it was respectable that he kept to the mission.
Yes, I understood that. I was thinking the same. I was kind of thinking the same thing.
I didn't find him admirable at all. I just felt terrible for the man.
Well, I thought
he was so. This one thing was so important to him that he was willing to overlook his safety, his friend's safety.
Yeah, that kind of
else.
concerned me. Yeah, that was. But what concerned me a little bit is like, if you're being chased down by robots, anything I have to do, I'm going to set it aside so I can get everybody out. But he was so I felt he was so overconsumed to consume alcohol. I thought that was a little odd. But then,
I don't think it was the alcohol. I think it was the quest.
Exactly.
That's what was driving him.
Okay.
Not the alcohol. The fact that he wanted to finish this one thing that he did not finish.
Okay.
When he was in high school.
Yeah.
Kind of like his bucket list.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Especially now that he's actually staring at the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one. Remember, there are certain things in here that I can't give away because of spoilers.
Right. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but there was.
Yeah. But he may be looking at the end of the world, and this technically is his bucket list. This is the one thing that he wanted to do, and he's going to do it, even if that means, kind of lying to his friends.
Mm-hmm. I will have to admit, I did like the way the ending. Again, I won't give away too many spoilers. You got if you want to see it.
It was a funny ending.
It was a very interesting ending. It was not the ending I was expecting.
No.
Based on the sci-fi shows and movies I've seen in the past, the other life form, as it were, that's involved in this, gave a response I'd almost say it was like an atheist dealing with a Christian in some cases.
Hey.
There's no arguing with you.
That's what I got from it, of course, but that's just me.
That's pretty funny.
AJ, you watched this with Jason, rather. What were your thoughts?
I don't watch mainstream movies.
You don't watch movies?
No, they all have implants in them to do make you popcorn. You realize that popcorn is one of the most heinous snack foods in the world?
Are they? Or is
Yes,
it?
but the Popcorn Consortium puts hidden messages in all movies so you continue to eat it.
I was wondering why I was craving popcorn and buying and go out and buy a Pepsi all of a sudden.
Well, now you know the horrible truth. Good luck sleeping.
Okay, Joe, you gave it a 10. You gave it basically 5 out of 5. Crystal, what was your score out of that? What would you give it?
I'd give it a 3.
3 out of 5? Okay. Jason.
I'll give it a 5.
5. Okay.
I hope we can talk about this after the show is over.
Oh, yeah, we will.
I have opinions about the ending that I just can't say.
Oh, no, we will talk about that after the show. And if you're not coming to the live show, you're not getting all this extra content. So you got to come to the live show at Friday nights at 9 p.m.
Yeah, see, he's like a pusher man there.
You betcha.
Practical Magic from YouTube gives it a 5.
Oh, she does. Okay, great.
Cool.
Practical Magic. Oh, she's in the chat room. She's Connie. That's Connie. That's
Yep.
you spoke to her at the meeting.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, she gives it a 5. Oh, great.
That means we all like the movie better than you, Packard.
That's all right. That's
Yeah,
nothing.
Packard, what did you give it?
Oh, what did I give it? I give it about a 4.5 out of 5 actually, because I liked the ending. The rest of it, like I said, I thought it was pre-adolescent stuff, and I was like,
Of course it was. They were on a pub crawl.
I never found any of the humor adolescent.
Yeah.
I found the actual drama and the interaction between the guys very, very, very engaging.
Yeah.
Actually,
Did you not feel like just the sadness with the main character King?
there is,
No,
that's why I said it has such a high degree of melancholy and
Yeah,
See, the thing is for me, because I live in Wisconsin and I've seen so much of bars over my lifetime that I see a lot of this stuff in real life, so I can't sympathize with that point of it, because and when I see stuff like that, I see it as it's very sad. So I don't see it as very funny at all in those respects. But I like the ending, and I like the way they dealt with each other during robots chasing them. That I thought that brought up the acting ability and everything, and brought the storyline back up. That's why I gave it about a 4.5.